What's shaking, people? It's your boy Doomkiller HD. Sit back and relax. You are now rocking with the best. Let's go! It's the weekly wrap up where we give you the news. Break it down bite size so it's easier to consume. Discussing the hottest game and thought of what's coming soon. Is it real or is rumor? Homie, that's up to you. Fire or trash reaction. Live viewers call in. No cap conversation. We going all in. It's the weekly wrap up, so enjoy the show. You're now rocking with the best. Let the good times roll. Come on.
What's shaking, people? It's your boy Doomkiller HD. Sit back and relax. You are now rocking with the best. And you know, tonight we've got a special edition of the weekly wrap up. Where we'll be talking about Spider-Man, Peter Parker, Miles Morales, Spider-Man, and did I mention Spider-Man? So yeah, that's what the show is going to be about tonight. So let me go ahead and bring on my co-host real quick, Mr. J. Coon Prime. What's good with it, homie?
What up?
Same old thing, different dollar, sir. How are you doing tonight, man?
I'm doing all right. Can't complain at all.
I ain't mad at that. Quick question for you before we get started and bring on our guest. What video games have you played this week, sir?
I should probably switch to this for this answer. So Destiny 2 is a war zone right now. There's a giant game-breaking bug that is allowing you to craft absolutely busted weapons with perks and rolls that should not go on certain weapons that are single-man melting raid bosses. People are going into raids alone and just destroying everything in their path with these broken weapons, and Destiny, as of right now, doesn't know how to fix it.
So it's probably safe to say that anybody who wants to get a raid done might as well go ahead and get it done right now.
Yeah, you probably just get it taken care of yourself.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And then I might have been playing a little something called Mortal Kombat 1.
Oh, yeah, I saw that, and we are definitely shying away from that tonight. I actually saw, I think it was opening night or whatever that is, and that was kind of crazy because you were doing pretty well and people were, shouting you out on the interwebs and things like that. And, I saw a couple of people was like, yo, don't run against J. Coon right now because he is definitely in his prime and things like that. And then last night, it must have been a completely different story because, it was, yeah.
So here's the thing. I am a passionate person. I am an emotional person. It's a fighting game. Salt is going to happen. I'm sure you've seen your share of salt in Overwatch. It's a competitive game. Sometimes feelings are going to get hurt, whether it be from the other player or the player's inability to figure something out. I will be the first one to admit I am not the quickest learner, but I do learn.
Got it.
The game hasn't even been out a week yet. It's not even officially released yet. Most of us have early access. So a day one patch could come around Tuesday and change everything. It's a work in progress. It's okay if you get upset, but like I say on Twitter all the time, it's not okay if you give up. So we're going to keep at it.
All right, go ahead, homie. Well, let's get on into the meat of this. We're talking about Spider-Man 2. Let me get my notes together. We're going to be talking about how it's talked about as being the best superhero game ever. We're going to talk about boss battle upgrades. We're going to talk about traversal, and we're going to talk about free roam and crime missions, how those things are completely different. Not gonna say completely, but definitely upgraded on this particular game, which is Spider-Man 2, not Spider-Man 2018, nor is it Spider-Man Miles Morales. So let's get it popping. We've got some special guests in the house tonight. We've got a Spider-Man fanatic, we've got a singer that games, and we've got somebody from across the pond that has more opinions than Suki. So yeah, we're gonna keep it popping. We're gonna keep it popping. First up is the man Slice Stardust. Yo, let's go.
I can't wait to talk about Batman tonight, guys. Clearly that's who we're talking about. We're definitely not talking about anyone else. We're talking about.
We have I Sing I Game in the building tonight.
What's
How
going
are you
on?
doing, good sir?
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Sing, man. Spider-Man. Oh my God. Do it.
Yeah.
Man, Stardust got me hyped for finally the release of Batman Arkham World.
Next up, we got the man. Oh, Father, what's good with you, good sir?
How's it going, man? I'm good. Thanks for having me on.
Oh, no problem at all, man. I know it's super late over there, so we're gonna try to keep it real time constrained because that's craziness. And it's late for this guy too, Mr. Peter Parker himself. What's good with this?
I tried to be funny.
Yeah.
Hey everyone, it's your boy. Welcome.
That's my dude. What's good with this, Star? How you doing tonight, man?
Doing good, man. I mean, obviously, I kind of jumped in sort of at the last minute. Can I say the truth? Because I think you asked in our group chat, right, in the roundtable chat, and at the time I thought I was busy because I mixed up my days. I thought it was last night you were doing this, so I was like, oh, I'm not around. So when I saw you plug it today, I was like, oh, I can do it. So I messaged Allfather at first. I was like, do you think Doom will let me on now? And I was like, I was a bit like, I was like, oh, but he's got like, you know how you like to organize it now, so you've got sort of a more condensed thing. I didn't want to like put pressure on you to be like, oh, well, I've got a star on that. You know what I mean? So I thought I'm going to do it anyway so I can speak to people about Spider-Man. And if he says no, he knows he can say no to me. It's fine. I'll take it.
But
Hey,
I don't really ever say no. So
Exactly why I asked anyway.
This is a rare treat. He's got his camera on for us. What's all that about?
I know, right?
It's 'cause Doom's got a rule, you see, all right? Whereas you don't enforce one when we do our stuff. So that's the difference.
Fair play.
He makes me feel bad if I don't do it, whereas you're just like, yeah, do what you want. It's China over here. It's China.
By the way, off subject, rare appearance of my fat boy Parker. Everybody say hi.
That's Parker
Parker.
Peter.
I'm about to say
Damn.
Parker Peter. I was just
We
about to
thinking
say
the same thing.
Also,
Oh, go ahead.
just
Go ahead,
super quick. When I came in and went Spider-Man, I was so gutted that you didn't say does whatever a spider can.
I was
Your intro.
I got stuck. That's the dad brain. I was literally going to do it, and then like dad brain kicked in, and I was just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna just wait till he finishes with everybody's intro because that pause was long, wasn't it?"
Man, y'all are crazy. J. Coon Prime, you need to do a better job at getting your guests under control, sir.
That's insane.
I'm sorry. I'll give him a pep talk next time.
All right, let's get it started, guys. Spider-Man 2. Supposedly, from the people who played the game, from folks who were early invited, early access, pretty much all of the stuff that I've seen, even IGN is going crazy behind this. They're saying it could possibly be the best superhero game ever. J. Coon Prime, your thoughts on that statement right there?
That is a very, very bold statement. So I really hope they can back it up because to me, as much as I love Spider-Man PS4, pacing, accessibility, entertainment, action, all of that is still held with the Batman Arkham series. And they have 4 games in total under their belt, 5 if you want to count the PSP version. That is a lot to claim that it took 5 games to perfect. So I hope they can back it up.
I think I game.
Being an avid Spider-Man and Batman fan, I am a huge fan of the Arkham series, and I'm actually in agreement with J. Coon Prime. They literally, like, you have to understand, Rocksteady had the framework for a solo superhero game. And what we first saw, one of the main, criticisms of Spider-Man when it first came out is, man, this looks a lot like the Arkham series. Man, this looks like how Batman plays in his game and how he scopes about and how his stealth is and everything of that nature. And it was just like, yeah, but it's Spider-Man, so where we glide with Batman, we swing with Spider-Man. So what I can say is, though it has its similarities for it to be the best superhero game, period, it's gonna have leaps and bounds because with each Arkham series game, it definitely had something that evolved the gameplay, evolved how it looked. So this game is gonna have to knock it completely out the park.
Slice Stardust.
So I have a different take to these boys. So my favorite superhero game of all
Wolverine
time
Adamantium Rage.
before Spider-Man PS4 was Ultimate Spider-Man. Now the reason for that wasn't just because it was Spider-Man, but because it blended everything in that I've ever wanted in a superhero game. Spider-Man, yeah, but you know, it had open world. You had a real big like homage to comics where it all came from. It all started from there. Tons of cameos. You felt like you were living in a Marvel world around that time as well. And I thought it was fantastic. I really enjoyed myself. And also you get to play as Venom, which is pretty cool. And then we go into what I've seen so far, what I've heard so far of everything about Spider-Man 2, and like it feels like again, I don't want to go too much into it because I know we're going to go to like the individual points, right, about the open world and stuff, but it feels like everything that I loved about that game and PS4 and just gone, blah, like massive over like times 10, right? And I just really, really, really think that unless it comes out broken, which it won't, because Insomniac don't really do that, then I think it's going to be perfect. Really do.
Okay. All for them.
So for me, it doesn't need to beat the Arkham games. It needs to beat Infamous 2 because that's the best superhero game of all time. But
whoa, you pulled Infamous out. I forgot about that. I forgot about that one.
I'll let him have it. Infamous 2 was great.
Infamous 2 was amazing.
Infamous 2 just ticks so many boxes for like being an open world superhero game. Don't get me wrong, I love the Arkham games. Like I haven't really got a bad word to say about them, but Infamous 2 for me is the one to beat. For it to be the best superhero game of all time, and to be the best Spider-Man game, it still needs to beat Web of Shadows. But based on everything we've seen, I think it could do it. I think it's actually set up. I think it's set up to really. I think they're gonna smash it.
Yo, I'm gonna just say this from the stuff that I've personally read, the stuff that I have looked at and checked out. This might do it as far as Spider-Man game goes. To me, the best superhero game ever is Avengers, obviously, guys. You know. Okay, that was a lie. It's not. It's really
we all
like,
straight-faced a little bit because we kind of believed you, you know, and that's kind of a bad thing.
A part of me wanted to agree with you, but then reality set in, and I said, "No, I can't let him slide."
No,
I love Avengers, but
Jim, you know you have to sober up before you stream, right? You know that's how this works.
Yeah. That's not gonna happen, sort of. But I mean, it just seems like it like Miles Morales to me, as far as gameplay goes, was a much better game than Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
As far as gameplay goes, and if they can capitalize and make even that better, bros, like. I mean, I sit there and I'm watching All Father on Twitter, and he's going, "This is what I want. This is what I need." If you know what I'm saying, and I'm like, dude, they got that. You need that. They actually put that in the game, and he's like freaking out over the loop-de-loop stuff like that. He's like, Lord, if I'm able to swing and touch the ground at the same time, I'm freaking gonna lose my brain. You know what I mean? Like, it's giving all of that, though. You know what I'm saying? So, like, as far as Spider-Man games go, this might be that game. It has we'll get into all of that. Let's move on to the next one. So, boss battle upgrades. Now the boss battles have the bosses, the villains have a health bar now. They got that green going to red or whatever colors they're gonna use health bar on top of it. And on top of that, Insomniac wanted to use more monsters and brutes than tech-based villains. I mean, they already exposed the fact that they got Mysterio in the game, who's definitely a tech-based villain. But for the most part, the gameplay they've shown has been Hunter Craven, which is a brute, and the lizard Doc Ock, which is not Doc Ock, but what's his name? Dr. Connors. And he's a monster. You know what I mean? So, like, what do you guys think about the upgrades as far as to me personally, I'll go first so y'all can go off of that. For me personally, the boss battles were kind of watered down in Spider-Man PS4. It was like dodge, 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 hit triangle, punch, 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 dodge, dodge, and that was like all of the boss battles except for the chases. You know, like with the Shocker or the Lizard in not Falcon but Vulture. Those were actually, yeah. I could come on, man. I'm old, bro. But aside from that, like it's literally dodge, 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 triangle. So with this health bar and the different styles of villains we'll be facing, are you guys excited for that? What do you guys think about the upgrades as far as, like I said, the health bar, monsters and brutes versus tech-based villains? And I'll start with you, Allfather.
Yeah, so it's quite funny actually. I had like a whole big video planned about like what I wanted to see from boss battles, and I've just had to scrap the whole thing because what we've seen so far already, they've already like genuinely. I had a whole script laid out for it, like, oh, you know what I'm like. So I was like, oh, I want to see this. I want them to do this with, you know, blah blah blah. And I don't even need to make that video anymore. It's a waste of time because they've already solved all those problems that I had. Just like you were saying with the first games, they focused a lot on the cinematic quality of the boss fights, which was cool, but it just felt like a lot of the time it was an interactive cutscene. Like it was just dodge, throw something back, punch, 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 dodge, throw something, do a web, punch, 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 and then you've won. But in this one, it's like it seems like, you know, there's going to be interruptible attacks. You're going to have that block and parry mechanic, which is going to play into it. I think it's going to be like, I don't want to say like Dark Soulsy, but leaning slightly more into that back and forth of like you're actually in a fight and you actually have to use the mechanics to get out of trouble. So yeah, I'm excited, man.
What if they took a page out of our favorite game, Avengers, and used their style of block parry system in that world? I actually think that would be freaking insane because the block parry system in Avengers is pretty much God of War. So that's crazy. You know what I mean? That's just the thought to go along with everything you just said. Slight Stardust, boss battle upgrades, health bar, monsters and brutes. Let's go.
Well, as someone who's a big Insomniac Spider-Man shill, I will happily admit that the first game's boss fights were quite bum cheeks. Okay. Now, and I mean that with love, okay? It's because they clearly made them 10 times better. I think Allfather might have seen me say this now in the group chat or something else, but I said that I love a 1v1 scrap when it comes to boss fights, right? Just a good tussle between character and boss, right? This might seem a bit weird. I'm not too bothered about mechanics anymore, really, in boss. I'd just like to fight someone who's either on the same wavelength as me or way stronger than me, right? And when you got the parrying attacks, so in the lizard fight, right, you know, he jumps on the walls. There's still cinematics in there. They're still focusing on the cinematic. It almost looks like a set piece, almost, right? Like you can pull the grate so that he traps his leg, he goes on the walls, you do a little cutscene when you jump down, but you can still parry, you can still kick away, you know, you can still do all that stuff, you know. And I think it's like, you know, there's combos where like the symbiote will pull his head up and slam it down. Like it still looks cinematic like the first game was going for, but they've added, like Allfather mentioned, almost like a Dark Souls element, right? Almost like a shut up, Kaz, what are you doing?
Just like Claw.
Old man yells at Cloud, right?
Goodness gracious.
But no, and it looks so fun. And then on top of that lizard thing, obviously you got part 2 on that as well. And my mind was blown because I'll tell you what I will say. Gotham Knights had a boss fight kind of similar with Clayface, right? And I remember thinking this was like the shit. That was my favorite fight section in the whole game. Yeah. With Clayface breaking out, going mental, and this is like a Spider-Man version of that. So I was like, and it runs at 60 FPS, so it means we can actually enjoy it.
Thank you for that one.
I gave boss battles, upgrades, health bar, monsters and brutes. Let's go.
So I like the idea of the monsters and brutes. You're bringing in Kraven, and Kraven is going to want to hunt, and the one thing that he's not going to want to have is just another person going after tech. villains. He's gonna want to have, you know, the Venoms, the lizards, the ones that are gonna challenge him past the human capacity. So that's the one thing that I definitely think that this element is going to be expound on in the game. Sly Stardust mentioned the game that I was going to mention, Gotham Knights, but also the Star Wars series, the Star Wars Jedi series. Boss fights were you're using all of the skills that you acquire into the match, and just like you guys said before, it was a lot of dodging. You know, I have all of these moves and stuff in the skill tree, but I can't necessarily use them in a fight because they want me to fight it a certain way so they can get to the cinematic. Now, the only block and parry system we've seen is Venom. So now it comes to the question with the new Venom powers that Miles is going to have access to. Is he going to have like a Venom parry? Because they never showed anything as far as Miles for combat outside of the dodging and the team takedowns. You know, so that's the part that I want to, you know what I'm saying, look into. Is like, yo, like, if Miles has his boss fight, because they did say, you know, Peter's going to have his missions, Miles is going to have his missions. What's his block mechanic going to be like for this game, or what's going to make his combat different from the first two Spider-Man games? And so, yeah, you know, that's where I'm at with it. The life bar, I feel like it's a good added bonus because we definitely like to see where we are in the boss fight. It was a lot of like, okay, how many punches until I get to this next cutscene? You know, so that's where I'm at with it.
J. Kun Prime, boss battle upgrades, health bar, monsters and brutes. Let's go.
I can see I'm going to be the odd man out on this again.
Nerd.
Big bosses, upgrade bosses, monsters, all that type of stuff. I'm all for it. I could care less about a health bar, and here's why. I like having that mystery of not knowing whether or not I've done enough damage, because I feel like it forces you to play more efficiently, be more Spider-Man-esque, stick and move in and out, all that type of stuff.
Or you can use your quad damage. You can use your quad damage skill gadget or whatnot and just get there super fast, like I did in Remastered. You know what I mean? So
I'd imagine the health bar is something you probably can turn off if you want to. I wouldn't
Yeah,
be surprised.
if there's an option for that, then I'll probably turn it off. To me,
wow.
it doesn't really matter whether it's there or not.
Dang, that's
The,
crazy.
Yeah.
Monsters and Brutes, you said you were good with those.
Oh, yeah,
right?
I'm good on everything else. Like, I think it's fantastic. Like, I don't know, for cinematic sake or added suspense for the player, I prefer not to have the health bar.
I sort of start itching for this as well, but I just wanted to quickly say we have actually seen Miles's parry. So,
Okay, I might have missed it.
No, it's cool. So, in the very first reveal trailer, the cinematic trailer where they like fully revealed the game for the first time, there's a clip where like a guy with two swords jumps towards Miles and he uses like an electric parry.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're talking about when they're in the warehouse.
Yeah, so
And he does the Hadouken and
No,
Yeah.
it's right. It's
Which
not
is the
in the
reason-
warehouse. It's when they're on the street, when they're fighting on the street. I know it's cinematic, exactly cinematic you're talking about.
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
So I assume
He
that's what
uses
that's gonna be.
the Venom strike, the yellow lightning to parry, and then he shoots him off with the blue lightning. It was kind of crazy.
And that's what I was saying. Like, I guess I wasn't paying attention to that particular part, but that's what I was hoping would happen was if Peter gets the symbiote and he's able to block with the symbiote, then unlocking more Venom power should give him a Venom parry of some sort. So
I think with Peter as well, when he's not got the symbiote, it's going to be the arms.
the spider arms, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we talked boss battle upgrades, the health bar, monsters.
Damn, that
and
smelled good,
brutes.
Jay. Sorry.
Let's talk traversal. Let's
They're
talk
cooking.
traversal and moving and how we're getting around the city of New York. First things first, they're bringing back the slingshot from the old Spider-Man games and also the Spider-Man movies, specifically the Amazing Spider-Man movies with not Toby, but with Andrew Garfield when he did the whole to the bridge onto the scaffolding. Like people are literally wanting to remake that scene, and you can do it in Spider-Man 2. So let's talk about the slingshot. You slingshotting, Jacob?
Oh, yeah, the more you add to the web swinging, the better.
Yes, indeed. You slingshotting too, Sing?
Man, look, I saw that mechanic and almost pissed myself. I was excited. I was just like, because I was like, yo, we haven't seen this, and I'm actually with Kaz on this comment that he made about the pizza missions because, yo, Spider-Man 2 and the pizza missions
Yo.
were undefeated. But no, the slingshot, I'm definitely going to slingshot. I'm using every ounce of the traversal engine because I feel like they just made it feel more Spider-Man. Like we're getting away from the Arkham engine of traversal and we're getting into more of a Spider-Man feel. And that's what I wanted for this game.
So you slingshot and Star?
The fact that in a Spider-Man game, right, and especially one that's as like cooked as this, right, the fact that I can slingshot, then do a loop-de-loop, spring up in the air, web wings, run on a wall, jump off, swing a bit more, get into the water, glide across the
Slide
water,
against the water. Come on.
slide against the water, bounce back up into the web wings, get in the tunnels, get to where I got to go. Do you know how cinematic that there'll be videos, TikToks, and shorts going nuts with the swinging for maybe ever, maybe for as long as till the third one comes out, right? Which is insane. The traversal sounds like way better than anyone ever expected because when the first state of play came out, people were concerned. They were really concerned, and I maybe comparing to what we know now, I kind of get it now, right? Because how much they've improved is like insane, to be honest with you. Like I didn't expect nearly any of it, and I have to be honest, this is a call out. I made it in my video. Me and Allfather have laughed about it. I can't believe that the content creators that went didn't know half of these mechanics. I'd be jumping in there, bro, and I'd be doing loop-de-loops and going across water and everything. I'd be trying it all out, bro. They'd be going to story missions. I'd be trying to climb up a wall in different angles to see if it breaks.
Yeah.
Traversal, slingshot, and you slingshotting all over Mr. Allfather.
Yeah, so like I don't know if you've seen this earlier, but Caboose confirmed as well that the slingshot isn't just on the poles; you can do it anywhere. So
Like slingshotting from off a building or something.
yeah,
like that.
so like you can do it basically from wherever you want. So the poles that Miles uses in the gameplay presentation give you like an extra boost, like a super boost. But when you do the slingshot just against any kind of surface, you can do a smaller version as well. So it's not restricted to just those poles, which is awesome.
It's an amazing mechanic.
Which I just want to say that I predicted that like 3 months ago as well, by the way. but yeah, no, like
All in
Star
his
said, like
mind.
the fact that you can like combine all these mechanics is going to be insane. Because like one of the problems that I had personally with Spider-Man PS4 and to a lesser extent Miles Morales, because Miles Morales had so much more style and tricks and stuff that he could do, but you know, you could look at someone who's been playing Spider-Man PS4 for like 24 hours and look at someone who's been playing for a week, and the gameplay looks the same because it is quite limited. The swinging, point launch, and wall run, that is realistically all you really get. Whereas in this one, it seems they've just gone balls to the wall with it, like they're not holding back. So it's awesome.
They're literally thinking about everything for traversal, like
Yeah.
with regards to Spider-Man.
And like the thing is as well, like Star was just saying then, like people were concerned after watching the first state of play. People were concerned after watching the current state of play because they didn't even show any of this stuff. It's all been drip fed in like tweets and reveals from community managers. Like a lot of people I still saw on Twitter were like, is it just the web wings? Are we only getting web wings as an upgrade and that's it? And then we've got all these other little reveals and people are like, oh shit, it's actually like way more in depth. And they haven't even showed us any of this stuff. We've only seen web wings and increased speed. So it's going to be nuts when we actually see all this.
Now, this is the thing I wonder if you guys considered. One thing that I used to just, it was a pet peeve of mine with traversing for Spider-Man. How can you run on a wall at an angle and you can't web zip in that direction? You can only web zip if you're going straight up. The one thing I hope is changed is different angle building with web zip. Like if I want to go sideways on the building, I'm running on the building.
Kind of confirm that. So you know, that they mentioned like a corner tether. The community manager. So there's a thing in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, of course, where like when he's doing the opening swing, where he literally just whips super fast around a corner, kind of like how he does when you do it over the building.
Gotcha.
So we're going to get that sort of thing where you can do like a really hard turn into any direction you want, kind of like a drift sort of thing.
Yeah. I've got a feeling that there's going to be a lot of hidden upgrades that they haven't told us about as well. Because like if we're getting all this information drip fed over just what like people got to play for 2 or 3 hours, and we don't even know half of it from that. It's like I think they're purposely holding this back, so when people get the game, it's just going to be like it's going to spread like wildfire when people finally get their hands on it, and like, oh, you can do this and you can do this. It's going to be insane.
And as Horda said, they also increased the speed of wall crawling, which, I mean, they didn't really like have to do, but it is super important because, like, obviously in stealth missions and stuff, you'd be trying to wall crawl and it'd be absolutely the most jankiest thing on earth. And to be fair, to Insomniac's sort of defense, like not a lot of Spider-Man games have managed to actually make wall crawling decent because it's just an awkward thing, especially with the camera and stuff. But if they've, it's sped up the wall crawling, and they must have improved those little bits as well. So hopefully it's a lot less jankier this time around.
Okay. Web wings to the loop-de-loop. I know you guys have seen the video of Miles Morales literally shock charging instead of doing the like how you used to just can hold L2 or whatever it was and then hold down the X button and then do a power jump straight into the air. You don't have to do all of that anymore. There's different ways for you to launch yourselves. And once you launch yourself from either slingshots or venom blasting yourself or just having enough momentum while you're running and jumping off a building, you can go into some web wings, into a loop-de-loop while you're in your web wings to actually get more velocity and speed. So I think that's crazy. These mechanics they're doing right now are going nuts. J-Kun Prime, web wings into a loop-de-loop, bro. Like what?
Whatever works.
That's big. Like, yo, talk to me, bro. How you feeling about that? Is that something that you're gonna be trying day one as soon as you get your web wing ability, or are you gonna be doing...
Let's be real here. Anything the game gives us, we're obviously gonna try it out. Me personally, just like character design wise, I always thought the web wings were kind of silly. Even back in like the comic days when he had them on and they were just like almost wingspan wide, I always thought they looked ridiculous. So it's nice to see them do something with it where it actually looks like fun. So yeah, I'm down for it.
Web wings into a loop-de-loop, bro. What you doing, Sing?
I have been waiting for this mechanic my entire life, and let me tell you why. Like, big fan of the Spider-Man comics. So when the web wings were like a part of his thing, where they would show you like different stills of him just like maneuvering through the city with his web wings, I was just like, yo, imagine this in a game, right? And then y'all gonna hear me compare this to Batman Arkham series all the time because it's just something about the glide mechanic in the Arkham series that is just like makes me like look at Spider-Man as just like, yo, the way that we dive when we're swinging, that's the loop-de-loop into a dive for more momentum. It's a dive mechanic for the web wings. They even have it to the point where, like he said, you could pull back and he'll spread the web wings and slow himself down, and you could do it like a little flip animation out of it if you want to slow down at certain points of your traversal. So it's just like, I'm just thinking of all the things you could possibly do now. Like, my mind is just videos coming soon. That's all I'm saying.
Yes, indeed. Web wings to a loop-de-loop star.
So here's the thing. Okay, so when I first played Marvel Spider-Man 1, I really had like a bad problem going to the mission objectives and just kept going for collectibles because I wanted to keep doing traversal. And anyone who fast travels in these Spider-Man games, you actually are like going to hell. like it's game over. Sorry, I don't know why you'd ever do that, unless you're forced to.
I do it for the movie animation. Sometimes the cinematics are cool.
3 letters. SSD.
Anyway, sorry. No, but when it comes to stuff like that, like I will 100% be doing any kind of fancy dancy moves just to get to like one collectible, the spider bots, whatever. So I'm 100% into it. One thing I am looking forward to doing as well is trying out web wings on every single costume, because after seeing the Falcon one and it actually the wings on his back are the web wings, right? I thought that is so cool, and I'm like 100%. As soon as I unlock an outfit, I'm going to see if it's got anything fancy to it that like makes it sort of different. That might be the only one, I don't know, but it'd be really cool.
Web winging into a loop-de-loop, my dude, all father.
Yeah, I'm gonna be stress testing this game to hell and back when it comes to traversal. But like, I really think it's cool that they've added like environmental factors. I mean, they already kind of did in the original games with like the web tunnel mechanic and stuff, where you could like like fly through stuff. But now you've got like the actual wind tunnels that can speed you up, and then you've also got the updraft ones coming from the steam vents, and they push you up higher into the air.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see if they've got any more stuff like that. So you'll have like the wind tunnels, the updraft, the web tunnel, and I hope that they implement a few more things so you can really just like combine all these different mechanics together. It's gonna be insane. The videos are gonna be just so good. I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it.
Fall damage. They're bringing fall damage back from the previous Spider-Man games. I mean, I think it's you can turn it on or off, but I'm probably going to keep mine on just for the realism. If I fall, I'm done. You know what I mean? So I actually like that. I remember that from the old Toby games, that they were in the Toby games, and when they actually weren't in the original 2018 Spider-Man game, it felt weird to be able to, literally jump from Avengers Tower, the top of the A, all the way down, and I'm just doing the superhero pose at the bottom of that. I'm like, nah, he's splat, bro. But now they're adding it back. Are you turning your fall damage on or off, Jakun?
Hell no. I ain't turning it on.
You keeping it off?
Damn right I am. I'm trying to jump from the top of Avengers Tower and ground slam an entire group underneath me. Damn right I'm keeping it off.
Okay, I feel it. I think I gain fall damage on or off. Oh, you so muted? You are so muted. You're just talking and you muted. You're just going ham and you're so muted. I think I gain. Mm-hmm.
Hi, I'm here now.
Yeah.
Fall damage. I'm turning it on. And why? Because, I mean, I'm Spider-Man. Am I really going to touch the ground? Is that going to take away from the quick recovery mechanic that's always been in the game? And that's the thing. Like, I'm not even going to fall from that high to even touch the ground and go splat. But I might play with it just to see, from different heights, how much life it takes off, just so I could, learn the mechanic. And
how tall of a building can I jump off of before it kills me?
We all think of that every day, That's a real life question. That's not even a Spider-Man thing. Every day, just like, I wonder when my legs will break.
Stardust, fall damage.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I'll turn it on. I mean, to be fair, like, besides doing the Empire State Building crash that everyone does in the Spider-Man games, I can't really think of any reason to keep it on or off, to be fair, because I don't ever intend to just hit the ground. It would be, you know what I'm saying? Like, because if you go into a building, you just will run up it. You're not going to face plant like Toby in SM1. So it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't really think of any reason to, for it to even be in discussion. I guess I can sort of understand it's like, oh well, it makes traversal seem less sort of like, oh well, if you mess up and you fall, but like that doesn't happen in this game. There's too many traversal mechanics to ever just go and die. So
I mean, unless they throw like a hit stun, so you're swinging around, somebody hits you out the air and you're hit stun and you hit the ground, you take fall damage on top of taking regular damage. But that's the only way I could see it actually making sense. Like, you gotta knock me out the air when I'm
check the chat and miss the next swing cue and
yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways, but like it'd have to be very specific scenarios for fall damage to really matter. The only thing that worries me though is like with fall damage is you still got to be Spider-Man, right? So if he hops down off like a ledge that would shatter my ankles, it wouldn't shatter his. He's Spider-Man. Do you see what I'm saying? But there is a level where jump off the Empire State Building, bro's knees are going to go up himself. He's going to get impregnated by his own legs.
If you remember in the second DLC, I think it's the Tombstone DLC or whatever, the Mafia one for Spider-Man 2018, Miles calls Peter and he's like, yo, I jumped off a bridge and broke a toe. So spider people can break stuff from jumping, dude. So yeah,
but like, right. So if I jump off a bridge, Doom, I'm either dead or very close to it. Miles broke a toe. Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see what I mean? Like, there's levels to that fall damage, but I'm sure Insomniac know what they're doing. They wouldn't add it otherwise. So,
I wonder how many Spider-Man are going to jump off the bridge now that we can actually traverse the bridge.
I just want to glide over the water. I won't even hit the water.
That's nuts. Upgraded swing speed and animation, y'all. I think all four they hit a little bit of that earlier. But seriously though, like we are going to be able to traverse the city, no fast travel, with even more ease and effortlessness than in previous games. Because I thought Miles swung a lot faster than Peter in his game than Peter did in his game. You know what I mean? So what are you guys thinking about being able to traverse New York with no issues? And whoever wants to go first can go.
Doom, you forgot Allfather for the full damage question.
Did I? I thought he answered already. I'm sorry. Allfather, go ahead and answer that, and then you can go ahead.
We sound the same. It's fine.
It's all good. No, I'm gonna try it out. Obviously, I wanna test it and see what kind of limits they've put on it. I think personally, what I would have liked as a better balance would be that you don't take damage when you fall, but if you fall from a certain height that's like over a certain limit, even if you're not doing a trick, you still get that stumbling and like crashing into the ground animation that, when you do a trick as Miles, if you hit the ground, he like hits the ground and rolls around and they have to get back up. I think something like that would have been better. So it's still a consequence for like taking the piss or like not paying attention, but or hitting something too fast. But I think fall damage is like, it's like a lot of you guys already said, like there should be no real reason in this game that you would ever just fall to the ground from that high without doing something. I can see why they've added it because there's a lot of demand for it, and I appreciate the fact that they've thought, you know what, let's just do it for nostalgia at minimum. Fair enough. But yeah, it's neither here nor there. I don't know. I'll try it out.
Upgraded swing speed and animations, being able to zip through New York faster than you've done in both of the previous games. All further.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like Star was saying, there's no reason to really use the fast travel mechanic unless you're switching character. That would be the only real reason to do that. I personally did think the train animations in the first game were pretty cool, where you could like go on the subway and stuff. But at the same time, I actually had one of the developers respond to me on Twitter about this because he was saying how cool this feature was, and he was like, "Well, don't worry, because if you like that, when you switch to a character, you'll get to see like Peter doing like sit-ups, or Miles might be on his phone, or these little." They've thought of to do that kind of thing as well, so you'll still get those cool little animations. They're just slightly different. But in terms of the actual speed of the traversal itself, it's like it's ridiculous. I think the only game that's probably going to beat it for loading times is Ghost of Tsushima 2, purely because of how fast the load times on the first game for that was.
Man, I think about load times, and I'm pretty sure everybody on this screen has played the remastered version of Spider-Man. Yo, there is no subway in that game. Like you hit fast travel in that game, and you're like, you're there. Like it is no animation.
Well, you have to turn it. You have to turn the animation on. But even with the animation on, I mean, like it gives you the skip button like within a second. It gives you the animation in a second. You get to press X and skip it. So it's like.
Yeah, in Spider-Man Miles Morales, that's like I very much made use of the fast travel mechanic because it was literally instant. So it's like, okay, I'm all the way in the financial district. Blip, I'm in Harlem.
Genuinely, one of the most insane things I think when I first got my PS5 was doing a base in Miles Morales and being able to. I know it's the mission. I think with Spider-Cat. Either way, right? I think you're in the base. Thing opens up, you web zip through it, open world immediately. No loading screen to get into it, just straight transition. I was like, that is ridiculous.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Dude, yeah. Like,
and I mean, one of the big reasons that it's so fast, and like you really notice it with the PS5, especially with Spider-Man Miles Morales, is because it's running on better hardware and such and has those faster load times. You had the loading times on the PS4 because it had to load that section.
Right.
That way everything felt living, where everything in Miles Morales was all rendered at the same time.
That's insane, dude. Just think about that. In that game was made. I think Yeah, that game was made for PS4/PS5, right? Miles
Mhm.
Morales.
Yes,
Yeah.
So just think about this. This game is strictly made
for
to
PlayStation
max
5.
out the PS5's capabilities, dude. Like insanity is about to be among us. Like y'all said, we zipping through and going right into the open world in the Miles Morales game, which was made for both systems. This game is only made for the PS5 people, and futurely is going to be on PC too. But still, PS5 maxed out. Like I'm talking about, there's not going to be. I don't think there's going to be a load screen in this game. And if the only reason it would be is if you want it to be, if you turned it on. Like that's what I'm thinking. Anybody want to comment on that before we move to the next subject?
I mean, I'm gonna say it like this: when you max out everything that the PlayStation 5 has to offer, that switch from performance mode to graphics mode is gonna be stupid. It's gonna be stupid, and the reason why I'm saying is like they were commenting on the shaders, the way that the textures look, how they bumped up the sharpness and the saturation. Like, just imagine how that's just going to visually look in an open world, and then the cinematics.
Now I got a question. All Father and Stardust, y'all may know this question. The answer to this question I'm be asking because y'all do the most research on this game out of the people on the panel. Graphics mode versus performance mode. Is graphics mode going to run at 60 FPS? Because if it does, is why would you even use performance mode?
So the way it seems like it's working is that they have so ray tracing's on every mode. That
Right.
there's just no turning that off. So it goes, you can do it at 30, 40, and 60. And I believe they confirmed that the lower the FPS, the better the game looks. But there isn't really like a graphics versus performance. It's more like, I mean, the game will look great on 60, but if you want it to look even just a little bit better, you can always lower it if that's your preference. But if you want like a smoother experience, then 60 is there.
Yeah.
All Father, you want to comment on that?
No, that's it. He's pretty much covered it. There's three
I'll
modes.
probably grab one after the pack.
It's kind of similar to what they did with Miles Morales, actually, because there was technically 3 modes in that game as well. You had performance RT, performance ray tracing, and fidelity. But whereas this one, it's got the middle option, it's got 40 FPS. So personally, I'm just going to play in 60 because I get ray tracing anyway. I'm happy with that, and I want the smoothest possible experience.
Okay.
So
you don't need the rocks brushing all over your head. It's not
it's
that
like I'm going to
serious.
be moving too fast to appreciate the fine details anyway. So it's like
free roam and crime missions, guys. This is where, to me, the meat of the game is definitely changing up. They filleted, they went in there and they cooked on the stuff that a lot of people were. I mean, you can spend hours doing side missions, doing stopping crime in the mission while you're in the middle of doing the campaign, and that is what a lot of games don't offer. You can't really just stop the middle of the campaign to go do something on the side in a lot of these games or a lot of these popular games. But with the free roam and crime missions, you can easily switch between Peter Parker and Miles Morales with a switch of a button. Talk to me, J. Coon Prime.
I mean, that was really the meat and potatoes of the previous games, and I love how Miles Morales did it instead with the Friendly Neighborhood app. Because one of the biggest annoyances I had in Spider-Man was like, because I'm a completionist, I'm going to complete 100% of that map, was just hanging around the area, swinging around until a random crime started. And that got annoying really, really fast. Where with Miles Morales, it was just random crimes. And then you had the app, which were the crimes that mattered. So if they're going to improve upon that formula, thank you.
Switching between Peter and Miles and free roam. Talk to me, Sing.
Free roam is like Jay Kun said, being able to not have to sit on a building for a period of time or swing through the city for a period of time in order for a crime to pop up. Like, it's New York City. There's crime everywhere. Like, we need to be I'm kidding. But no, for real. Like, we should be able to, like, go to an area and there should be like something that's loaded up. You got the app, you got a different way of being able to look at it where it's like you go to these areas, you already know you're guaranteed to get something within a couple of seconds rather than waiting for it. Especially with the fact of, no loading times using the engine of the PlayStation 5. We shouldn't even have to wait on any side missions or anything of that nature. So that's gonna be the thing I'm looking forward to.
Well, let me go ahead and say this much. Gotham Knights hit the nail on the head. Like you didn't really, it was always like 5 or 6 crimes going on at one time. So you can go wherever you wanted to go. It was something about to happen. While you're driving past the city, you might hear somebody saying, "Help me," or whatever. You know what I mean?
You hit the nail on the head. I was literally thinking the same thing. Gotham Knights nailed that when it came to free roaming and doing side activities within the campaign. Like taking different elements from different games, and just I feel like this Spider-Man 2 game is going to have everything from all of the best superhero games and all of the best accessibility from the different superhero games in one game. And I think that's what's going to possibly push the mold for this to be the best superhero game that's out there. You have to capitalize on all the things that the other games did well. One of the things that Gotham Knights did well is, even though it lacked the content that everybody was looking for, it gave you something entertaining. You were able to play not only the story, but do other things outside of just grabbing the collectibles and trying your build, loading out loadouts and different stuff like that. Like you could actually move around the city in a way that made sense and didn't waste time.
It's like Stardust switching between Peter and Miles in free roam, bro.
that's the sickest thing. Like that's honestly, mate, that's one of the things that I've always wanted since kind of Miles was in 616. I'd say was when I first sort of went, oh, Miles, it looks cool. Because I didn't really like the Ultimate Comics after Peter died. I was one of them kind of people. Wasn't bothered about him being replaced or nothing because he was dead, but it was the fact that he just died in general. I was like, no, but I was a child back then, I was like 10 years ago. I was like 12. Do you know what I mean? So, but anyway, like when it comes to seeing this, even just the way they swap about, the way that you can do like a crime and the other Spider-Man will come and help you if they're nearby. It's random, just takedown mechanics and stuff like that. It really does feel like you're living in Marvel's New York, right? Because, like, obviously, we're not gonna have Daredevil just jumping out of nowhere, right? I get it, it's a Spider-Man game, but when it comes to that idea of just having like the other Spider-Man show up, it makes so much sense and it's so cool. And like, oh, I want to be Peter now, and he's doing sit-ups on the side of a building because he's looking at the scanner or police scanner or something. He's trying to figure out what to do next. He's bored. Like, it makes so much sense. It's so cool and fun. Like, and the idea of just seeing what they're up to, or like maybe as Miles, I'm swinging past and I clock Peter doing something in the distance. How cool is that? That's so like you're living in Marvel's New York, and I just think that like. Yeah, man, it's really exciting just talking about it because it's just cool, isn't it? Like I can't really explain it. Like it's cool because it is cool, that's it.
One of my favorite bits, I think it was from when Sam Alexander became Nova. He ran into Spider-Man, who was Otto Octavius at the time, talking about he wanted to be a hero, and they're standing on top of a building in the middle of Manhattan, and Spider-Man just starts, "What are you doing? Just wait." And then like 3 Avengers fly by, and he was like, "This is why you're not needed here." So that was like something like that was always pretty. It's what makes New York stand out in the Marvel universe so much, is because you can't do nothing in New York without at least one hero going, "What you doing?
What's up?"
Now I will say this: there's one game where the switch mechanic was amazing, especially during combat. Arkham Knight had this dope ass mechanic where there was 2 people in the same area and you could effortlessly, I'll be mid combat with Batman, next thing you know I press a button, I'm switching to Catwoman, smacking somebody with the whip, go back to Batman, throwing somebody, then Catwoman's catching them and doing the team takedown. If they have it to where in combat, if y'all just near each other, there's a button press and you just happen to just, that would be insane.
Mr. Allfather, switching between Peter and Miles in free roam, sir.
Yeah, I've seen stuff about like how you can be swinging around as one, and then you could go to a random crime, and like if you're Miles, Peter might already be there, like he's already in the middle of it, kind of thing. So
Mhm.
that's
Understood.
awesome. I don't think there's been a Spider-Man game that's felt as connected to the Marvel universe as this since Web of Shadows, probably. And I know I praise that game a lot, but it's true. Like there was obviously loads of Marvel characters in that. Um, yeah, I think it's going to be awesome. That oh my god, that idea of switching between them in combat. Whoa, I
Yo,
need
can you
that.
just imagine? Like I'm smashing
Well,
somebody, hit a backflip, and then oh, Peter
picture
gets
this,
some
guys. Picture this.
Ah,
From,
stuff you could
from
do, like you,
somebody who I know who've actually played the game, and I don't know if they, they were in the DM, and I don't know if they were pulling my leg because I'm so hyped about the game. But this might be fact. You can pull up to a crime and like say Miles Morales is already in the middle of fighting. You can just view Miles whipping ass, or you can switch to Miles or help him out as Peter Parker, vice versa too. Like if you are Miles Morales and you come to a crime, you got one of the little lights you didn't flew by with your web wings and you land and you're like, oh crap, Peter's down there kicking ass. You can kind of just view Peter whipping their ass.
but like
Or you can go and help him, or you can switch to Peter while he's fighting, and Miles will come and help you. That's the
so
kind
like
of craziness.
imagine you do have that level of control where you can just switch like on a dime kind of thing. You could like play if you're Miles, you could like uppercut someone as Miles into the air, switch to Peter, and then throw an object at the guy who's still in the air. So you've done like a double attack on one person yourself just by like switching characters really quick.
We did
Like,
see like a
oh man,
cinematic version of that where in the expanded New York trailer we saw Miles come in with the swing kick and then he sort of salutes and dips like straight
yeah.
away, which I imagine would be like if I'm playing as Peter and I'm doing the open combat and Miles is nearby, he'll either maybe stick around or maybe it'll be like, oh sorry Peter, I'm on the way to another crime, and he'll like do a swing kick, help you out a little bit, and then swing away, which
That
is still
comes
really
down
cool.
to the next subject, Mr. Stardust. Team takedowns and help from the other Spider-Man. From what I've seen and have been told, you can be in the middle of a crime, not in the middle of a crime, in the middle of stopping a crime, because Spider-Man is a criminal. And
Symbiote.
Lord.
evil
and
dancing Peter.
oh my gosh, not Bully McGuire. Stop. And like Star just explained, Peter is beating the crap out of, or Miles is beating the crap out of somebody, does the electric uppercut. You see Peter coming through and with the claws on his back, the spider arms webs the guy up real quick and kicks into smithereens. That's one of the team takedowns that you can do. Your thoughts on that, and we'll start with you, Allfather.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be insane, especially with the fact that it's not just switching between the two characters. It's the fact that the combat system itself seems so much better. So, like, being able to not only use these characters, like, this would be cool if it was something we could do with the original combat system. Never mind all this extra stuff that they're gonna be adding, like Peter doing like a spiral spin attack with the claws and stuff. It's gonna be nuts. Um, and like and just as a side note, like I was kind of like hesitant about the spider arms because I prefer to use like webs and traditional, like, just keep him like normal Spider-Man kind of thing, but they've kind of sold me on the arms, I'm not gonna lie. Like when I saw it in the gameplay trailer, I was like, yeah, okay, fair enough, I'm gonna try them. I'm gonna use them. So
That's actually, y'all are killing me right now. That's actually the next thing that I was about to talk about, but we'll get into that. Mr. Slice Stardust, team takedowns and help from the other Spider-Man.
Well, so we know that it isn't just the general open world that you can do it in. When you do the side missions that require, or just main missions that require both of them, every takedown seems to be set around doing it with the other ones. So there's a brief cutscene when Brian Intihar mentions, "Oh, you need both Spider-Man," and they do like a cartwheel flip and trip the guy up and start. And obviously, we saw it with the initial CGI trailer when the game was first revealed, doing the little kick into the slam with the webs and stuff like that. So like they are working sort of perfectly as a tandem. In this game. And I think that they're going to really showcase that. But I do think, however, now this is just a little theory, but I do think that the further we get into the game and everywhere the symbiote, I think team takedowns are going to be very either limited or they're going to be very like Miles does something and then Peter just takes the guy. Like he just steals him away from the takedown. Like he's like, all right, whatever, and he just slams him dead. Do you know what I mean? No flash, no pizzazz, just done it. Because both the Spider-Man together, even the things we've seen, are very flashy. They're very cool. It's very like, you know, all over the place. Whereas I think Peter's just going to want to get it done, so he'll just tendril out, slam the guy down. That's it. But I think so. Yeah, I do think that not only are they going to have these big focus on team takedowns, I think story will actually play a part in them as well.
Team takedowns and help from the other Spider-Man. I sing again and unmute yourself.
I felt like team takedowns were going to be a part of the game as soon as we saw the reveal trailer. You know, when they were doing the slight montage where they showed the reveal trailer and they was like, hey, this is not actual game footage, but they gave us a little bit of Spider-Man, a little bit of Miles, and a little bit of Venom. I was like, oh, team takedowns, that's a possibility. Now that we're seeing it, I'm like Slight Stardust. I'm like, well, what's the limit to that? Like, does he have to be in the area? Am I going to only be able to do that when we're interacting on the same mission? And it has to be like, you know, say a campaign mission. You know, they gave us, you know, they're going to be in the same area in certain parts of the game. So you'll have access to call the other one in. But I'm just wondering how, like, I guess I'm just waiting to get my hands on it just to see exactly how fluid the mechanic is going to be, you know?
J. Cone Prime, talk to me, sir.
I mean, team takedowns were, I feel, a given. So it's just going to be a matter of how often can we do it? How many of them are there? And is it going to have some type of weirdo cooldown like the Spider-Cat suit did? Where it's like, oh, you once per loading screen, you can do the Spider-Cat takedown. What? That's, huh?
Okay. Skill set switch up between gadgets and the symbiote, and being able to use them both at the same time is actually a thing. So I'll start with you, J. Cone Prime. You going gadgets, symbiote, or both?
I mean, both, definitely. Like, because, I mean, if I scream activate instant kill, I better be using those arms, you know?
Slight Stardust, symbiote, gadgets, both.
Man, right. So I already know my loadout from what I've heard and seen already. So the symbiote, I'm using the one with the tendrils, lifts them up in the air and slams them down, because that is horror movie stuff. That's Doc Ock, Spider-Man 2 level horror in the hospital sort of thing. And then also that's so cute. As you know, the one where he like goes underneath almost like a little black worm and then pops up with spikes. That's my other one. And then with the arms, it's the spinny thing of doom that we saw in the, you know, that one. It goes crazy. And then apparently there's also a power where he shoots out electricity from the arms. And I like to think that, like,
what?
Yeah, did you not know that?
I didn't see that.
There's one where he shoots out electricity from the arms. So it's kind of like, it's not a Miles copy. It's basically electric webs, but from the arms.
I saw something on Reddit. You just reminded me where it said like the whole reason that Peter's developed the arms is because he's having a midlife crisis because he's so jealous of Miles's extra powers.
That's perfect. And maybe that'll be a joke in the game, you know. But yeah, I was thinking because the game is so reliant on like parries and there's huge enemy density and stuff like that, I want like two very good single like target things. But if the electricity works in this game like it did in the previous game, so if you electric web someone in PS4 and then spun them around and threw them into a group of enemies, they'd all be electrified. Right. So I think to myself, like, if I could do that, right, electrocute someone, do the double tendrils and slam them all together, that would be like whoosh, like that, and it would be crazy.
I'm pretty sure you won't be able to use electricity with symbiote skills.
Only the ultimate symbiote applies the electricity weakness. It's very weird, and I I think we'll be fine.
Okay, I'm not mad at it.
I think they'll do a video game thing where it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna ignore that.
Because it's coming from the arms, it's not touching the suit. So
Yeah,
it's fine.
exactly.
Oh wow, okay. All father. Skill set switching between gadgets, symbiotes, or are you gonna be using both, my dude?
I'm gonna be using both. Like Star said, I've kind of already got my signature move down, which is probably gonna be like doing the whirlwind dive, like the
spinny
sort
thing of
spin-
doom.
the spin dive, knock everybody back, and then as they're being knocked back, go straight into that multi grab. So it's just like boomf. I also saw
Whoa.
someone talk today about you know that symbiote move where he grabs like loads of people. So apparently there's an upgrade for that where it
Yeah,
will
I've
just
seen
grab
it.
it will just grab as many enemies as there are in front of you.
Someone said they
Oh,
got up like 7 at one
yeah,
point, so pretty
so
much the whole screen.
Yeah, so like it'll just grab as many enemies are in range with like basically no limit, which is just ridiculous. Like it's just stupid. The amount of lengths they've gone through for like all these different abilities is going to be just crazy. Do you know what I just thought? I wonder if like the mechanical arms will have a traversal element to them at all. So maybe you can crawl up buildings really fast with the arm.
That'd be nuts.
Imagine fighting Doc Ock with them arms in this game, yo. That would be insane, bro. Like,
Yeah, and
So we've got some competition.
the mechanical arms can shoot webs as well. I know that much. So you know, there's all kinds of stuff you could do with them, but I'm really curious to see if there's any traversal component to it.
Sorry, just really quick. So
Yeah.
what I'm now interested in, right, really interested in, is when we saw the arms, I immediately thought that's an answer to the symbiote, right? Because he would lose a symbiote and then want to
I
do
was
the arms.
just
But
about-
if he has both, what is happening there? Why? What was like?
Okay, so I was literally about to bring this up myself because I was under the impression as well that he was going to lose the symbiote and then develop the arms to compensate for the lack of symbiote. But it apparently he's got the arms at the start of the game.
I heard
So-
the symbiote was his default, though. Apparently,
Well, I've from what I've read, I can't remember who confirmed it, but they said that like at the start of this story, he's already developed the arms, and that's just his go-to.
Yeah.
And I think, like I said, I think the joke behind that is like he's trying to keep up with Miles's extra powers, kind of thing. And he's going to be more tech focused, whereas Miles has got natural ability, like extra abilities.
That makes sense.
But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be cool. Did you see the thing about? You've probably already got this as a subject, Doom, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. But did you see the thing that one of Peter's web tricks is that he can solve a Rubik's cube in midair?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
quick question, everybody on the panel. Emotes. Does this game need emotes? Yes or no? Jacob
No.
Byrne.
No.
I think I
Double
game.
no.
I'm gonna say yes, and the reason why is because you have the mechanic where you can interact with the people in the city. Why not?
Yeah, that
Have it-
basically.
I
is
want to
the
just
emote.
do the in the black suit. Can I do that? That's all I'm asking.
You know what I'm saying?
Stardust, emotes, yeah or nay?
I mean, yeah, I guess. Like, you know what I mean? Same as the thing as I Sing said, like, you know, you interact with the people in the street. It's funny you bring up the Raimi thing, though, because now that I know you can use the symbiote stuff with any costume, obviously you'd be able to do it with a symbiote suit, but I want to do that, the tentacles with the babana. Just that stuff playing in the background would be so sick.
Go. Emotes, all photo.
Yeah, no, I don't want like an emote wheel or anything like that. Like it's not the kind of game. I think having the pedestrian interactions is more than enough to satisfy like an emote system. Any effort that could go into emotes should be defaulted into more tricks for web swinging.
Oh my god.
So
what
yeah.
if you can
I'd be down.
emote while web swinging?
I mean that's just tricks, isn't
Yeah,
it? Like
Correct.
yeah, that's just tricks. So like, you know, if you can do like the Rubik's Cube thing or like doing certain poses, if you want to call it emotes or web tricks or whatever, it's the same kind of thing at that point. But
Gotcha.
yeah, I don't want like I don't want an emote wheel or anything like that.
Gotcha. Battle damage fighting suits. From what I read, you will definitely be getting battle damage. Now, I don't know if it's scars and blood like in the Spider-Man 2 game, or if it's just like a dirtied up suit and with smudges on it like in the Miles Morales game. But you will definitely be getting battle damage, and it erases at the end of the mission. What do you guys think about that? They're just bringing back the old stuff that we all wanted, and like they've been cooking, and we are about to be feasting. Is how I'm looking at that. So it's a good thing for me. Battle damage, J-Kun Prime.
I'm kind of 50-50 on that. Like, because on one, yeah, you like seeing that progression. Like, one of the nicest looking things out of the entire first chapter of the first Spider-Man game was the fact that, like, it gave him a reason to get the advanced suit because it was all tattered, torn up, and busted. It showed that he had just got done taking down Fisk. But the Destiny player in me is screaming, "No, I want my suit to look new."
Sing, what you thinking, bro? Battle damage on your suit.
I think battle damage is one of those things that's like it'll be nice, but it's not necessarily needed. I think it would just be a nice mechanic if we're talking about cinematic wise. We're going into a boss fight and he's tearing us limb from limb, but we done healed a couple of times. Like the battle damage is like, well, shoot, if I heal to full health while I'm beating him up and doing combos, is the battle damage still going to be there after I'm healed? Because it's like, if that's the case, then what's the point?
The battle damage should heal your health, not your suit.
Itself magically.
I'm just saying, like, you just heal yourself, and it's like,
bro,
the suit
what kind of health packs you got, bro? Like, what?
He's got a sewing kit on him at all times.
we got that nanotech. It just instantly fixes it. But
that makes sense.
I think battle damage would look particularly well with the cinematics, because that means depending on your playstyle and everything like that, like there can be so much damage that can be done to your suit. It's going to be different for anybody who streams it and plays it. I think it'll just be cool.
Slight Stardust battle damage.
So battle damage is kind of already a thing in Miles. Lewis pointed this out, where it's like it gets dirtied up a little bit. It doesn't go mental. It's not like Amazing Spider-Man, the game, where it's like ripped to shreds by the end of the game. It's just like a little bit of dirt, a little bit of kind of wear and tear. I think that'll be very similar. I think that it'll be gradual to the point you don't notice. I do think we are going to get real proper battle damage, but I think we're going to leave that until like towards the end of the game, where like both spiders have been wrecked in a boss fight or something, and it'll be like an unlockable, sort of similar to game 1 after the Kingpin fight. You can still wear the bashed up classic suit, but I mean, battle. If they go all out with battle damage, where it literally looks like ASM1 game, where it's just torn to shreds, and as the game progresses, both Spidey suits are a bit beaten up and stuff, then that'd be sick. But I think what I heard is that it basically just goes back to normal after you've had that fight.
Were you not here for the first part of this question? You weren't.
I went for a wee.
Oh yeah, I was like, but we discussed all of that. We talked about the battle damage from Miles.
Sorry. Okay.
See, chat, now we know why I'm the co-host. I look at the private chat.
Oh, no. I was looking at it while I was asking. I'm like, why are you not here, my dude? Or you weren't.
He's peeing right now.
Right this very second in a bucket. I had to pick it up first.
Don't you dare stand up. Don't you dare stand up, son.
I thought we were looking at a hologram. I thought he was still taking care of
it. This face.
Bro, battle damage, Mr. Allfather.
Yeah, like it's one of those things. I'm happy to have it. I always think these kinds of things, wherever possible, should be an optional toggle, like being able to enable or disable it. I also think it's cool to just have battle damaged options for suits, like having the battle damaged suit was pretty cool. Sometimes, like just for immersion, I would just equip the battle, like during the sections of the first game when Silver Sable had like taken over the city and everything had just gone to shit, I'd just wear the battle damage suit just to fit the kind of theme of the game. So having that is pretty cool. I don't mind having battle damage that happens organically. I think the best way to do it though is probably the way the Arkham games handled it, where the suit does just progressively become worse throughout the story. So like in the Batman games, like by the end of the game, his cape is like torn to shreds, and and then you have the option to turn that off actually in the Arkham games, which is pretty cool by the end as well. So yeah, I'm all for it. Just as a kind of side note to like battle damage and like returning features, what I'm really happy with Insomniac currently is the fact that they're not afraid to bring back features from other games. Like you'll find sometimes with the like especially AAA developers, they'll avoid features from like other games or other studios like that have worked on the similar franchise because they're like, we want to do it our way, so we'll deliberately not incorporate this feature because it's not our vision and whatever. But it's like they're like, no, people want it, we'll just add it, and that's such a good attitude to have because they're not limiting themselves by like going into this tunnel vision of like doing it just their way. If players have suggested, oh, we want web wings, we'd love to have battle damage, it's like, yeah, like fine, let's just throw it in, and that's just cool. I just wanted to say that.
One of the things that I liked so much about the old Toby games were like that might not even been the Toby games. I don't remember which game it was, but you would swing using either L2 or the left trigger or the right trigger. I love that aspect of it because you're shooting your left arm out there. You might want to shoot your right arm. Now I'm in the middle of a slingshot, just out of nowhere. You know what I mean? So I really enjoyed that. I wish they could bring that little small mechanic back because what are you really doing with L? Oh, that's the slowdown feature in the new game, right? With the left trigger, that's the
aiming, yeah.
But see, like I like being able to literally. I felt more like I was controlling my swing when I was like, you know what, I'm about to swing with my left arm, or I'm about to swing with my right arm because the building is over here that I want to turn and do a quick about face to the right side or something like that. That's the kind of mechanics that I wish they didn't shy away from, my dude. Like for real. But battle damage, we talked about that. I got a question for everybody on the panel, and I'll start with you. Out of the 65 suits in the game or whatever, 65 to 85 suits, what has been your favorite suit that you've seen so far? And it's got to be one, not for one for each of them, one suit. One suit that you was just like, you know what, that's it. J-Kun Prime.
Superior Spider-Man, of course.
I think I game.
The anniversary Miles fit is definitely my favorite. However, if they somehow decide to put the Amazing Spider-Man 2 in here, that's probably going to be my favorite suit.
It's like Stardust from the suits we've seen. What you got?
The hooded Scarlet Spider. I love it. It's so colorful. It's dope. The only thing that I hope that they got rid of from the source material is the little stingray mouth that it kind of has. I hate it. If it's just a whoop, then perfect.
Oh, you're talking about from the comic series where he went to Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, that was dog shit.
I mean, I love it. It looks great in the game, but in the comics, it did look a bit funky.
Mm-hmm.
All Father.
I don't know the official name of this suit, so Stardust might be able to help me with his comics knowledge. But the Spider Falcon suit, so like the suit with the wings, basically.
Oh, not a clue, mate.
Oh, the one where he's got the camel pants on or whatever.
The web wings are the actual wings on his back.
I think it's from a What If story.
I think it is. Yeah, it's like a future from what I remember reading a while ago.
Yeah, it's from that that last run when everybody was in Battle World still.
It's
from the Battle World arc. Yep.
Futuristic sort of everything
with God Doom
kind of thing.
Yeah.
It's a bit weird that Dr. Doom was in charge and they decided to whitewash the Falcon, but that's just me, all right? Dr. Doom's kind of sus.
I just like the aesthetic of like I like a sort of military, futuristic, apocalyptic aesthetic, so that suits me.
I like it a lot better with the mask. I know that in the books he doesn't have the mask and it does just look like a guy as Falcon because Peter, bless him, is the most generic looking male on the planet. So like having the mask on at least makes it say Spider-Man X Falcon. Yeah.
Right. For me, I'm for right now, I gotta go with that Black Toby Spider symbiote suit. That just looks completely insane as a video game suit. It did in the Spider-Man 3 video game, and it looks even better with the graphics and the engine that they use from Insomniac. So I'm like freaking out behind that suit, and I definitely want to do this in the emote one time. Just Let me get
Call
that.
me a hater if you want. I have never liked that suit.
Bro,
Never.
I'm so sorry for you. Like, I love
Oh,
that too,
don't be.
dude.
Don't be sorry for me at all.
Is there anything else about Spider-Man y'all want to wrap up with? Speak now or forever hold your pieces, people.
I
What
want
do
to
you
ask a
think?
question.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, All Father. You
No,
go
go
first.
on.
You started before me. Okay. So in Spider-Man 1, when I was playing a few New Game Plus playthroughs, I'd use a certain amount of outfits, right?
Mhm.
And to sort of, play like it's sort of, I'd use homemade, then I'd use Stark Tech, then I'd use Iron Spider towards the end, right? Are
Mhm.
you guys going to do that same thing? So are you guys going to use with the web suit, the Raimi suit, and then get the symbiote? You do the black Raimi suit, and then you'll transition back towards the end. Are you guys going to do sort of similar stuff like that with the
Bit of role
costumes?
play.
I
a bit of
planned on
roleplay.
it. I planned on it because even with the DLCs, like I changed my suits for the DLC. So I had the
Mhm.
Stark suit for the first DLC. I went into the second one. I went into the black and red one from Homecoming, and then and then I went into and then I went into the last suit, and then I switched between his final suit to the hybrid suit that he had in No Way Home. So it's like it depends on which suits we get at certain periods of time. I know for the New Game Plus, I'm wearing suits and progression as many times as I can. Like I'm
'Cause
going
I-
from
yeah.
one mission to the next mission progression. Let's look at it.
Because
I've
I'm
heard
like
it-
that with just sorry, really quick. Where I do story outfits, my first play, like I just do it the way the game wants me to look, and then I do all that in the second playthrough, third playthrough, and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way because
Mhm.
like the cutscenes certainly help with when you dress to the aesthetic. You know
For
what
the
I mean?
occasion.
Like, right. So, like my first New Game Plus, I'm if these two suits return to the game, which are my personal favorite suits from Spider-Man 1, which is the spider armor from the comics, not the movie one, but the comic one, the Iron Spider for real, like the red and gold with the repulsors on the
mine.
feet, and bro, and then the
You said
Parker-
spider armor, and I was like, "Oh, the spider armor Mark 1, the silver and black."
Oh, I love that suit too, though. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the Iron Spider though, and then the Peter Parker's the Parker Industry suit. That's an ultimate Spider-Man suit. It's got the throwback logo with the new logo that's glowing, and his eyes are green, and he's just dope. He's just dope. So if those two suits come back, that's probably the only two suits I'm gonna be rocking in that particular New Game Plus.
Mhm.
I
In
feel
my
like
third New
classic.
Game Plus, we'll switch it around. You know what I mean? But yeah, first New Game Plus, all original stuff. If it's in the game for me to play it, like the advanced suit was the suit that they wanted you to for the cutscenes because he would pull a mask off sometimes, or the scars, or when he made the Doc Ock suit, yada yada yada. Right? So yeah. I rocked that the first time around. But when that New Game Plus came around, I ain't give a shit. It was what I wanted. You know what I mean? So yeah.
See, I'm the reverse. Very first playthrough, I'm gonna wear whatever the hell I feel like wearing. Second playthrough, I'll generally throw it out to my chat. Like, what suit do you want to see? Majority vote gets the suit. I always
The
had one
undies.
stipulation though. If I knew a cutscene was coming, you could only pick a suit where the eyes moved. Because I feel like you lose a lot if
Right.
the eyes don't move on the suit. So if there was a I want you to play Scarlet Spider. Okay, I'll do that on a side mission or something. But like, oh no, we're about to go talk to Shocker. Pick a suit with moving eyes.
Mhm. No, I feel that a lot. I wish all of the suits' eyes still moved because that's the only reason I didn't like that. The speed suit, what suit? The velocity suit,
the
I think it's
velocity
called.
suit, yeah.
That suit is so fire, dude. But the eyes just
Yeah, the eyes don't move. Like I love the Future Foundation suit. I have always been a fan of that one. But those big bug lenses, I hate them.
Right.
I think it'd be pretty cool actually. And there's been a surprising amount of Gotham Knights praise in today's stream, which I'm all for that because I think it's an underrated game personally, despite its flaws. But I actually think the Gotham Knights system is really cool, where you've got like an outfit, but then you can tweak some parts of it. So you can change the boots, you can change the lenses, you can change, like the logo, for example. That would be a sick system to have in Spider-Man. So like you could get like the Raimi suit, but you could change it to like the movable lenses, or you could change
Right.
to the logo from the Amazing Spider-Man films, for example. That'd be pretty cool. I just wanted to quickly put it out to like you guys. Two very quick questions. One, what do you think of the deluxe suits now that we've seen them?
Mhm.
And two, are there any suits that we haven't seen yet that have not been in the first game, Miles Morales, or shown for this game that you still really hope that we get?
I'll start that one off. The deluxe suits. Um, I can't remember who put it on Twitter, but it had me damn near dying laughing. They're a little bit Avenger-ish. You know what I mean?
A lot of
I don't-
everyone,
Yeah.
everyone's been saying that.
They're a little bit Avengers, but there was like some of the Miles hooded suits looked real good.
Mm.
There's one or two suits from Peter that I actually liked, but a lot of it I'll probably will never wear unless it's like an achievement to put on every suit or something like that.
Yeah, I think
The
it was Spring actually that made that initial.
Yeah,
sort of-
it was. But and the second question was, what was the second question?
So second question: are there any suits that you would like to see in the games that we haven't seen at
Oh.
all yet,
Um,
from the comics or from the films? And you can't say the Amazing Spider-Man 2 suit because everybody
Right.
wants that.
it's actually in the game. I think they already confirmed that it's in the game. But not. Oh, there is one suit. I want the Spider Carnage suit from the 19.
Oh, that was my answer.
Oh, really? Ha 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 ha.
Damn,
Kiss my
I'll
ass.
think of a
Who's them
different one
notes?
now.
The Spider Carnage suit from the throwback 1980 Spider-Man cartoon, the 1990s, whenever the hell that was. But I want that suit in the game, and it's a dope ass suit because it's literally just Carnage covering half of Spider-Man suit. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. Jacob Prime, you want to follow up?
The Ben Riley sensational Spider-Man suit.
Oh, that's actually something for you. I was watching Caboose's video earlier, and he mentioned the Spider Bots at the preview event. Obviously, now we know what they're meant to be for, right? Is the Spider-Verse crossover thingy, and some of them he believes will be costumes, so like Spider Armor Mark III, and he did find a sensational Spider-Man Spider Bot. So I mean, it's not a guarantee, but like, you know what I mean? You wouldn't why put that one in the game if it's not his suit, you know?
Now the question is it going to be the original 90s suit, or is it going to be the new one they did where the spider
Weird
is
Beyond
all
one?
center
Yeah,
and shit, and he
mhm.
turns into Chasm, and now he's a dumb character again?
And what was the second question? The deluxe suits. Did
Any
you
of
like?
do you
yeah.
like the deluxe suits, or do you think they're trash?
Jacob?
I mean, I have the collector's edition, so I liked it enough to buy it. So you know,
I think again. Follow that up.
I got the deluxe edition simply because with games like this, why not? But I don't think I'm gonna really like play in any of the suits except for like the Spider Punk type look. That because that is probably the only suit that like reigns true for me in that deluxe pack. Outside of that, I don't think I liked many of the suits. However, the suit that I really want is for Peter. I want the original Spider Noir, not the the trench coat with the hat, and not
Yeah.
just the mask with the kind of like gas mask feel to it. I want like
That's another Spider Bot with the trench coat and the thingy. That's
Yeah.
another one. So hopefully,
That's got to be a thing, given that they've got the cloth physics now. Like, there's no way they're not going to do that.
especially with them leading into like Spider Verse content and stuff like that. Like you got to put it in there somewhere.
Flight Stardust. Follow up. I think.
so digital deluxe edition. I think my favorite one is the Power Rangers one for Miles, the Tokusatsu. I think I said that right.
Tokusatsu.
Love that one. I love it. It's so cool. But when it comes to costumes, I have an answer for both Spider-Men. So with Miles, I want Hobie Brown Spider-Punk with the whole aesthetic to it. With Peter, I want Poison. Now, that one is a bit of a different one. It's basically symbiote Spider-Man, but like a tarantula almost look to him. Basically, this version is in the comics, Peter dies and he like cocoons himself on a bridge. This is a real story. And during this time, he resurrects, right?
When he gets
In
the
this one,
organic web
he
shooters.
gets organic webbing. Yeah.
Yeah.
yep. And in this one, the symbiote comes in instead and like basically revives him and goos him up and all that. And he breaks out and he's like disgustingly symbiotic. Like he does not look like a human being anymore because he's pretty much not. Pretty much just Peter corpse in there. Which is really gross because the end of that, he takes Gwen Stacy's corpse and turns her into Carnage. It's really disgusting. But anyway, I want that one.
Nice.
You want to answer your own question, Alpha?
Yeah, so I like for the deluxe suits, the only one that I'm really feeling is the apocalyptic Peter suit with the mohawk and the jacket kind of thing.
Mhm.
That one looks cool. And then sticking with the theme is I think it's Dark Ages Spider-Man. So he's got like, it's basically a storyline, to my knowledge anyway, it's a storyline where like electricity has basically been wiped out across the earth. There's no technology anymore, so everybody's just like living in the Dark Ages, hence the name. And he's got like steampunk web shooters, so they're like mechanical. I tried to get a picture, I don't know how well you can see, but he's got like mechanical web shooters on, and like all his suit is like strapped together with like belt buckles. It looks really cool. So that's the suit that I'd like for Peter. I don't know that many Miles suits that we haven't already seen, so I don't really have a good answer for that one. But I'm really happy that we're getting the like the cloaked one that he's got. That looks awesome.
I need another Secret Wars fit for Peter.
I'll throw you one for Miles as an answer for you, all father. The Dark Reign symbiote suit for Miles, where it's in literally one panel, and he's got the symbiote suit on, and it's like a hooded symbiote suit, and it looks fantastic. It really is like a cool look, honestly. Like, I think it was one of the more requested Miles suits.
Is Iron Spider Miles suit in the game?
Yes. Yeah, the new one as well. So the one that Uncle Aaron wears when he's Iron Spider, and then they also did like a recolor for the brand new one, the gold and the
gold
red.
and black one. Yeah.
Yep.
Sweet. Well, guys, I appreciate all of you all coming on. Chat, y'all have been awesome. All for let the people know where they can find you at, good sir.
It's all Father Media on everything. Nice and easy.
Nice and easy. Slight Stardust, tell the people where they can find you at, good sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me at Slight Stardust. We are right now, as I look at my phone, about 40 subscribers away from 1K. All right, we are etching. We are tickling it. So it's going to be a good time.
I Sing, I Game. Let the people know where they can find you, man.
Well, I sing, I game. It's not just a name; it's a lifestyle. Y'all make sure y'all check it out. Yeah, man, we're on our road to 1K too. We're at the 600 area, so yeah, y'all make sure y'all come by Twitch, because as soon as this game dropping, y'all ain't seeing nothing but Spider-Man. I'm saying.
I'm not even mad at it. Mr. Co-host, talk to the people. Let them know they can find you at, sir.
You can find me everywhere at JCoon Prime, Twitch, Kick, YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, you name it.
OnlyFans.
Only Grabs. New site.
Not only Grabs.
Only Grabs. Shout outs to Foxy Grandpa and the MK community. Only Grabs.
So this channel, if y'all know anything about the YouTube algorithm, this channel has literally been broken for over 10 years. It used to be a Call of Duty channel, and then I switched over to Marvel's Avengers after it being dormant for 7 years. I tried to make it grow. I tried to water it and make it a beautiful variety channel, but the algorithm does not. It doesn't know what to do with this channel. So what I've decided to do is start a brand new channel. It's called DK Reviews. I'm going to be primarily focusing on that. I'm not going to abandon this channel. It's my baby still. You know what I'm saying? Plus, I've only got like 60 subscribers on a new channel, so it's not a lot of you over there just yet. So make sure you guys go and check out the new channel. Just search it up. Any support on that channel will be super dope. On the road to 100 subscribers. So let's get it popping, keep it popping, people. I would greatly appreciate it. So if you have not yet, Go check out the new channel. See, that's actually not me. That's my other new channel. I mean, it's me, but click my name down there. Go sub it. Talk to it. Do nice stuff. There's an actual cool video on there and the short. Short is actually doing surprisingly well. But
it is. I checked it out earlier. It is.
Yeah, but definitely go check out the new channel. I would greatly appreciate it. You guys could have been anywhere on the planet, but you decided to come here and rock with the best, and we greatly appreciate it. From Hoarder Gamer to Nava Flow, Captain Tate, Lewis, QMR Rage, my dude, Mr. Q, Mr. Rage, Captain Tate, who's always in the building, Eastwood, who came through, Arkham. God, he's a lot of y'all today. Thank y'all, man. Appreciate it.
J. Coon, I love your ring. I just had to say that because you
great songs. Casual Avenger was in here. Yo, guys, Obey, appreciate you, bro. Thank you guys for rocking with the best. I greatly appreciate it. With all that said, lazy bon ton roulette, which means let the good times roll. Peace out, people.
What's shaking, people? It's your boy Doomkiller HD. Sit back and relax. You are now rocking with the best. Let's go! It's the weekly wrap up where we give you the news. Break it down bite size so it's easier to consume. Discussing the hottest game and start up what's coming soon. Is it real or is rumor? Homie, that's up to you. Fire or trash reaction. Live viewers call in. No cap conversation. We going all